Hello everybody and welcome to another exposure on my exposure and response intervention channel about psychology, where I face my fears gradually, my fears of choking on food. Today we'll be having hash browns. There's a huge story. I was going to get this, I was going to get that, but here we go, hash browns. I'm planning on making more videos at night now because my anxiety seems to has plateaued. So let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go with 20 out of 100 my anxiety. I'm going to do my exposure. This is a response you want to prevent for the most part. Sometimes I think there's like a bit of hair or some chokeable item on my food. So I would check again. This is something you need to stop doing if you are falling into this habit of worst case scenarios or kind of like catastrophic thinking. It's very rare that a catastrophe happens. That's why they call it a catastrophe, right? Like, so just do a reasonable effort to not check as much as you can. Try your best. I'm eating 2. I said, oh, what the hey. Let's eat 3. But today I'm actually doing my video outside. Nope, sorry. So I'll save my anxiety, save my exposure first. So it was a 50, I said it was a 20 in the beginning. I felt a 0. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck at like 10. It's kind of plateauing these days. I'm not seeing these big excuse me, I'm not seeing these big kind of jumps anymore. It's very less. So it's 20 to start, and honestly it went down to like, what did I say, 10 or 15? Went down about 5 points, so 15 really, because I didn't feel much in the way of like a drastic decrease. You know, I got a 1 for about a second. I'm sorry, a 0 for about a second, which is awesome. When you get 0 anxiety out of 100, even if it's for a second, it's a great feeling, because it shows you it's achievable, you can do it. It gives you more motivation to keep doing it. Then it just increases my faith in psychology. So, usually I don't make these videos outside, but today there was a whole story. I woke up early. I usually don't wake up early. I'm not a morning person, and started driving to Milton. I started thinking to myself, oh yeah, I used to do the 10 to 2 shift for Skip the Dishes in Milton, and it was so dead at 10 o'clock. And I was thinking, which places don't serve breakfast so I can get some lunch? And first I went to the bank because I had to put some money in, and it looked busy, so I didn't go in. Like, I wanted to go, like, it's part of my social anxiety, I think. I'm like, I'd rather go when it's not busy, because it's just more people to deal with and anxiety. So I didn't go there. Got out of the parking lot, went to KFC, but they were closed. I thought they had a 24-hour drive-thru. There was a guy inside, and I said hello, but I was like waiting. I pull up, I was waiting for like 15, 20 seconds, and I say hello, and no one was answering. So I'm like, you guys are closed, right? So I just drive up to the window, and I appear, and everything with lights were off. Everything. There was this one guy in there, so it was weird. So then after that, I'm like, okay, maybe I should go to McDonald's, right, or Wendy's. But the way I was coming out of the driveway, it was like a main street, so I couldn't really make a left. There's like cars coming this way and cars coming this way, and I'm like coming out this way, so it'd be too hard for me. So I don't know if that's. I know one of my friends had OCD. He doesn't like making left turns either. I've been diagnosed with OCD, but I don't really think I have it. I think it was a misdiagnosis, or Everybody has it's very light. Yeah. I really don't think I have it, but so I drove to McDonald's, even though I wanted to go to Wendy's. It's like whatever. Maybe I thought I should make a U-turn, but whatever. Once I got my mind on something, I just kind of go straight to it. It's kind of like black and white thinking almost, right? Just as long as you're gonna do it, if you think it, you're gonna do it. And it's good to be motivated like that, but don't do it all the time because it is black and white thinking. If you do it seriously yourself, noticing that, like almost planning your whole day out or planning your next action out, and kind of like being like, okay, I thought this and it feels good and I feel like I can do it, so I should do it. It's like, no, think about it. Do you want to do this? Weigh like the cost-benefit analysis of it, right? You're doing it with your thoughts anyway, right? Might as well do it with your actions. Your feelings might change. So maybe that's all psychology. Thoughts, actions, feelings are all interconnected. They're all related. How? I don't know, but they just are. So, finally got my food. I was thinking, okay, I'm at McDonald's. Please, if they have 24-hour lunch or something. I confused that with 24-hour breakfast. So I go there at like 10:30 in the morning. And I see the sign. I'm like, oh crap. It's all like muffins, croissants, and danishes. I'm like, crap. Okay. Right. So I was in the drive-thru. I can't really back up. So I could have went like, oh, I don't want anything and just drive through. But I was like, screw it. I've driven to like 2 different places now, or whatever. You know, too much. It's too early. So I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna get 3 hash browns. So I got 3 hash browns, ate them. Honestly, I was expecting it not to be a big exposure, and that's what I was kind of getting like, oh, I should add something like potato chips or something. But honestly, I'm happy with this exposure simply because some days you don't have to have a big exposure. You can have a cheat day and not do the biggest exposures you want, but it's only after lots and lots of work. If you're having a cheat day after your second day, there's something wrong with your exposure. It's more likely that you just picked up too hard of an exposure. Because these exposures do, you know, as I said before, thinking positive burns calories. Actually be positive all the time, which is what my psychologist recommended I do. Last thing he said to me was, you should always try to think on the positive side of things. Or always try to think about the positive side. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. From that moment on, which is about 2-3 weeks ago, I am, and I'm seeing a drastic change in my life just about eating habits and just being okay. Like I've developed like a boredom attitude on life where I'm just completely bored of life now. I'm bored of people and what they have to say to me about like if they're gonna judge me in social situations or, you know, stuff like that. Like it's just kind of fun and interesting to see your anxiety go down. It's cool. So it's that I always say this in every video. The video's gone on too long, but let's see. What can we talk about? Problems, physical problems with anxiety. There's a host of them. If you look on Wikipedia, you'll find a host of physical symptoms associated with anxiety, from fatigue, nausea, right, dizziness, lightheadedness, high blood pressure, fainting, decrease of appetite, increase of appetite if you're comfort eating, swallowing problems, doing that, but that's more of its own thing. But it is part of anxiety as well, as a symptom. You know, urging to avoid, can't catch your breath, urge to get away, feeling of terror and panic, right? These are physical symptoms, right? These are all physical things you can see. A lot of times, though, what anxiety people do is we stop ourselves from actually feeling these symptoms, and so we avoid. So we think there's nothing wrong until we realize way too late that, oh, I haven't, for example, left my room for a year. Because you felt the anxiety so much, and your body wasn't really used to such a huge shock to the system that you said, I'm never, ever going to do that again. And that's why you stayed in your room. But you didn't say that to yourself. You just said, this is more comfortable, right? My friends are calling me out to go eat. I'd rather just order in, right? It's more comfortable. So your brain can trick yourself very easily because the brain is so powerful. And it has this, like it controls everything, right? It controls your perceptions and what's happening right now and how you're hearing my voice and watching me. So what I mean to say is, you gotta take your anxiety seriously and not just avoid it. If you avoid it, guys, it's just gonna get worse, right? It's gonna get to the point where you just think it's gonna be too hard to do the exposures. You gotta do it now. Start journaling your thoughts. Start making videos. You don't have to share them on YouTube if you don't want to. I really don't care. Right? My videos are out, but you gotta share them on YouTube, or write them in a journal. Share them with people you'd like. You don't have to share them with anyone if you don't want to. And it's kind of weird. I have social anxiety, and I don't care about these videos being outside and people knowing that I make these videos. I try to protect the confidentiality of people I'm close to and that know me. Just because, why name names? Like, what's it gonna accomplish? I'm gonna get angry. People are just gonna get angry if I name names. Well, this person did this and this and this person thought, it's like, what is this, high school? So, what else can I talk about? Anxiety doesn't mean you have some sort of evil spirit in you if you believe in those things. It doesn't. What I personally believe, and it's not a scientific basis of anything, so obviously don't take this if you don't want to believe in it. I believe anxiety predisposes you to having those things, while at the same time one can be 100% anxious and not have any demonic influences on them at all. That's just how anxiety works. Remember, in the old days, I used to think it was caused by the devil. That kind of seeped into, a lot of ideas about how people view it now. I know I come from a Muslim culture where I converted, but I was born in a Muslim family where it was it was something that, in when I was growing up, I was exposed to a story from, let's just say, person Z, who regaled me and my sibling with a story about how person X's mother was apparently, possessed by a genie or whatever. These are interesting concepts to discover and think about. It's just, I've spoken to the imam at the mosque about it, and I asked him, what do you think about all this jinn stuff? I sometimes have trouble focusing. It's hard to bring up anxiety to a mom at a mosque, so I just said stuff like, I'm having trouble focusing. Can you help me figure out whether it's okay to do exorcisms on myself, which is basically just reciting Quran, the holy book of Muslims, right? Blowing on your hand after you've recited it, putting it over your body. And he said, look, that's good. It's a good thing to do. It's the best best exorcism, best Quranic verses to recite. Are these verses, he told me, in the Quran. And he, I basically asked him the question, which I guess a lot of scientists and theologians are kind of wrestling with, is how do I know it's anxiety, not a jinn, or is it a jinn and anxiety, right? Is it a demon or is it anxiety? How can we tell the difference? How can I know the difference? And he flat up said it's hard to, it's almost impossible to tell, basically. So, I personally feel that at the end of the day, his advice is good advice. It's impossible to tell. I have read symptoms of demonic activity in Islam. It's like not praying, not getting close to God, which is something that I do suffer from time to time. There's also things like having a seizure while listening to the Quran, which thank God has never happened to me. You can go on YouTube and search jinn exorcism videos. You'll see a lot of people who I believe at least 99% of them have a mental health issue that's untreated, and so it's just easier to call it a devil, which is really sad because they really need proper mental health. There was a period in my time where I kind of thought I was possessed by a devil when I was praying a lot and doing a lot of Quran reading. And then I think one of my friends mentioned to me how it's probably not. It's probably a good thing. So, spiritually, it's kind of it's a good thing. It's a good thing to do this. It's hard to, in different cultures. It's just different, right? It's what do you call when you suffer for trials. God's gonna test you, right? Okay, I'm getting into God too much. It's psychology, man. Let's go back to psychology. symptoms of anxiety. These symptoms will stop you from living your life. Like, I want to sleep. When I woke up at 9:50, 9:40 today, I wanted to go back to sleep. But a part of me just, once you start doing it, you kind of just have no control over that action. You just keep doing it over and 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 over again until you realize, I just have to do this to live, or whatever, to perform a primary function of my life. And I'm not going to wait till I have to pee to wake up. I'm going to wake up now. I know that's what you guys do. I do that too sometimes. Like, screw it, I'm up. I'd rather just wait till I have to pee to actually get up and go back to sleep. Right? So, it's a long video. What else can I talk about? Marijuana. This is something I wanted to talk about also. I believe marijuana is forbidden in my belief system. I've also been had recommendations from 2 doctors to try it and to see how it makes you feel. One of them recommended it for my anxiety as a medical recreational a drug, or a medical recreational sort of label or appellation of how I'm going to smoke it. Another one said, yeah, smoke it as well for your heart, for hypertension, because I have a bit of high blood pressure. Smoke the high CBD version, low THC. So I started out on that for a bit. I used to smoke in high school. Like, who hasn't? I used to smoke a lot in high school. Okay, it's probably contributed a bit of my anxiety. At the same time, marijuana nowadays, now that it's regulated, in terms of it's not being laced anymore, so no one's really going to have a bad trip if they know what they're doing, if they know the difference between the sativa and the indica, and if they know the THC content they're comfortable with, if they know the CBD content they're comfortable with, right? For anyone that doesn't know, THC is a psychoactive ingredient within cannabis. Cannabis is a plant that, when harvested and dried, it's buds, and it's, we'll say it's buds. It's leaves as well. Mostly it's buds, like it's flowering plant, the buds. Once broken up, it can be, smoked for ingestion. For anyone who doesn't know what cannabis is, and you can inhale it, you can smoke it, you can vaporize it, and not even have the smoke in you. You can eat it, put it in brownies or whatever. And I prefer joints. I used to smoke on a vaporizer just for my lungs, but that's not good, because you smoke too much, you don't realize how much you've smoked in, and the next thing you know, you're like wondering why you're so high. So it's good to pace yourself if you're new to marijuana for anxiety treatment. But I recommend it. Like, my dad's a chemist, he's a doctor, he knows like what I'm doing, he knows the medical things, and I never try to smoke more than like a 14% THC. There's stuff out there that's like 21%, 23, 24, 25%. If you start dabbing, which is basically where you take the actual chemical in the flower, the THC, just take it chemically and put it on in a bowl or something, and liquefy it by heating it to high heat levels, so it becomes liquefied, and then you move it around in the bong, the pipe or whatever. Smoke, you can get about 30% THC or higher. I've heard people getting up to 99% THC, 90% THC. That's not something I would recommend for anybody who has anxiety. That's not a treatment for anxiety. If anybody offers you a dab and you don't feel comfortable, just say no. Don't do it. I don't recommend doing dabs because it causes anxiety. It's just like, it's way too much weed. It'd be like smoking like 2 grams of weed in like one hit. You would just feel way too high. You would probably collapse. I would faint. I would never do it. So, and of course there's this tension coming from a religion where marijuana is, as I said, forbidden in my belief system. And I also have a family history of addiction, so even in my extended family. So I gotta be careful. I can't smoke too much that I get addicted, because that has happened to me, and I ended up hospitalized because I was forgetting to drink, and I got dehydrated. I always try to remember to drink. Have a water with me whenever I feel like I'm getting nauseous, because I know the symptoms now. When, like, especially when you're out in the sun, you forget to drink. That you're out doing deliveries, you'll be there the whole day. Next thing you know, you're like so tired, so you just come home and eat something. But you don't really think about drinking. They actually have like 2 things. I think it's something like, those bottled waters that they sell. 2 of those over like a 45-minute period, and your dehydration should be gone for the most part. You should be undehydrated. So that's about 500 milliliters. 1 liter of water in over 45 minutes should stave off dehydration. Some people said 8 glasses a day. I don't know about that. My dad always harps me on that. Drink more water for your depression and stuff. I was like, I guess maybe he's right. He's a doctor. Anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. As I had in my previous video, I wanted to make a video about doing my anxiety at night, because that's when it first happened. The whole choking phobia, where the food was down here, and I had to do the whole thing, clearing my throat, thinking I was choking. That's when it first started. So maybe I will next time. I'm just so used to making them now. My anxiety has plateaued, which I'm very happy for, very grateful for. Having said that, there's always more work to be done, right? You can always go down to 0 and get more and more zeros. Zeros are what you want. High numbers is what you don't want. If you keep getting high numbers with your anxiety, do less of the anxiety. Instead of eating a whole sandwich, eat half a sandwich. Instead of eating a whole chocolate chip muffin, eat half a chocolate chip muffin. Right? And same for any anxiety. Social anxiety, same thing. Alright guys, hope you have a great day, and leave your comments in the video in the thing below, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Bye.